When it comes to the most electrifying players in NFL history, Michael Vick is on the short list. One of the best dual threat quarterbacks to ever play the game, Vick's career would be derailed in its prime when he pled guilty to dogfighting and spent 18 months in prison. Since that point, Vick has worked hard to reestablish his reputation and make amends for the crimes he committed. Now retired from the NFL, Vick recently visited Liberty University to speak in convocation and address his personal journey and the faith that he leaned on during his darkest days. He would then sit down for a conversation with Game On.
Well, Mike, we appreciate you stopping by. We appreciate the time.
Yep.
You know, athletes, a lot of times when they retire from the sport, you hear about guys struggling to find a purpose. Some struggle to find happiness. Their identity was so tied into the sport itself.
Yeah.
For you, retirement, what's it been like?
It's been great, man. It's been an ongoing process ever since the day I announced my retirement. It was more obligations than I ever had when I was even playing football.
Yeah.
And I think it keeps me busy. It keeps me, in tune with what's going on in sports and what's going on in my surroundings. And, it's great to have young kids, too. They keep you, culture-centered and driven. And I got to give a lot of credit to them. They really helped me in terms of growing as a man, as an individual, and just enjoying life, man. So a lot of the obligations and speaking engagements I take on because I want my kids to see me, trying to go out and be the best role model that I can be after football.
Number one overall draft pick in 2001. How much do you feel like you've grown, just personally, spiritually, from that day you walked across the stage being drafted to at this point in your life?
Yeah, well, I think, getting drafted and walking across the stage at the age of 21, I was just a kid. And fast forward to my life now, I'm 37 years old, and I've been through a lot of ups and downs in the last 16 years, but, all for the better of myself, for my mental state and capacity, and just learn a lot of lifelong lessons that I can teach to my kids, and I can teach the kids that I speak to at my football camps, and et cetera, et cetera. So I embrace the fact that I've developed a platform, and not by myself, but with the help of a lot of people who really believed in me and encouraged me along the way.
You spoke to kids that here at Liberty today. A lot of them may be too young to remember you breaking into the league, setting the NFL on fire. For them, unfortunately, they know you from your darkest days, from maybe your biggest mistake.
Yeah.
Did you have to kind of come to terms with that that's always going to be part of your legacy? And what do you do to try to make that a positive thing now?
Well, I think it's a positive. I don't always want to be identified with football, and football was such a easy game for me. It was, what I did from the time that, I felt like I could be a dominant football player at the age of 7. So that came naturally. What you don't have a chance to always explain is the things that you don't do so well, the things that you don't understand, and sometimes you screw up. And you can be identified with, various things, and I embrace that. It's all about, making amends and helping people to understand that, listen, sometimes you're going to fall, but you got to get back up. And you got to keep believing, and you can never give up on yourself, because when you do, you ruin it for yourself and potentially other people who believe in you. And, that's your mom and your dad and your brothers and sisters and people who, have high expectations for you. So you get up on that saddle, man, and you embrace it and you keep riding.
This new stage of life, post-playing career, has it given you time to think about legacy and what you want that to be for you for, 20, 30 years from now? What do you want that legacy to be?
20, 30 years from now, I want to be able to look back and say, post-NFL, I became a great man. I became a great person. I was still learning a lot along the way, but at least I had it in my heart to try to do the right thing and to be driven and not be deterred by what people may think or the critics. I feel like it's been a great support cast put around me to develop a platform that I can take advantage of in order to help people, not only help myself. So, that's the reason I do broadcasting, to help people understand football and not try to be so sophisticated with it or so complex. I think just small things, the subtle things in life that you don't take for granted, but you put a lot of thought and energy to it, I think it goes a long way.